This is a tutorial on how to get Dmarc sorted for your site. I find it incredibly boring. I mean, it has to be done. That's the whole thing. If you want to learn more about it, maybe you're super bored. I find it incredibly boring. But if you're super bored and want to know more about it, or if you have a genuine interest, I have written a lot about it on a blog post of mine, which I will link below. And talking of the things there, please subscribe, because I want to remove ads from this channel, and I can't until I'm monetized, which means I need a certain amount of watch hours and etc. And I'm extremely tired. It was my daughter's birthday. I can't even speak. I've hardly had any sleep. It was my daughter's birthday yesterday, and we re-watched the whole first season of Reacher in one hit. And now I have consumed Brisbane's coffee quota this morning, I'm sure, to try to stay awake. But let's get back to the subject, Dmarc. I'm going to show you how to do it really quickly and easily. And as I said, if you want to know what it means, then you can go to my blog and read about it, because I'm not particularly interested in the subject. But as I said, it has to be done. So what is it? I'll briefly run through it. Well, remember the old Nigerian prince scandal, or scare, should I say scam? People would receive emails. My mother even thought it was genuine once. But an alleged Nigerian prince would email people. But that's just like normal spam. But it's when the email is from someone else pretending to be someone else. That's when we're moving into what Dmarc could do to stop it. So say that you were a scammer pretending to be Facebook. Who hasn't had those floods of messages lately pretending to be Facebook? You know, you open your Facebook and you've got 10 messages from all these people with different names saying you have gone against the Facebook standards. Click here. Of course, if people click there, that's not very good, because then they'll be hacked, most likely. But this is someone pretending to be Facebook. And this is what Dmarc will prevent. It's someone pretending to be someone else who is emailing you. So if you were Fred Blogs and you thought, I'm going to fool Mary Smith, I'm going to pretend to be her friend Celia and email her as Celia. So that's the sort of thing Dmarc prevents. It checks if the sender is genuine. And it's quite easy to do it. But I have seen so many people have said to me, I was sent these instructions, and I thought, who can follow those instructions? They just make it all worse. So basically all you've got to do, you've just got to go to a site, put in your domain. See, I'm so tired, I can hardly think. You put in your domain, and then you just complete a couple of fields, and it will generate what you have to do. So on my blog, I have listed the steps. I've linked where you need to link, and I've got a link where you can check it as well. Now, another thing people have said, as soon as they get the Dmarc sorted, they get floods and floods of emails. Like, they'll wake up in the morning and it seems like there's millions and millions of emails, Dmarc emails. Of course, they don't want them. Who in their right mind would? So in the blog post, I tell you a couple of ways. One way you can basically avoid it, and another way you can cut it down. Depends on whether you want to read them all or not. Or it depends whether you want to have them somewhere where you can read them if you wish, but you don't get bombarded with them, because there are two fields. But I've explained this in the blog, and I won't bore you with the details here. But one of the fields, you can put in an email address where you want these sent, and it's the other field that sends a lot more. So you can basically just do away with one of the fields. And another question a lot of people have asked me, when you're filling in those fields, do they have to be the email addresses that will be verified? No, it doesn't matter. It can be anything. Best to be associated with an email associated with your domain, but I've explained all that in the blog post. The thing is, it's your domain. So it's emails from that domain. So it's not, say you've got a domain, fredblogs.com, and you see the first field to fill in, and you think, oh, my main address is admin@fredblogs.com. I had better type that in, but you don't need to. you don't need to at all, because the Dmarc is not verifying the admin at fredblogs.com. It's only looking at the fredblogs.com. Okay, then, I hope that makes sense. I'm off to have some more coffee and I will get on with the tutorial in this way. I'm going to show you a screen share of what I have just done, because some people prefer to see screen shares. Now we're looking at my blog post here, which explains it all in great detail and has graphics if you'd rather read up on it. So the first thing we do is we go to the generator. Now everything here is linked in this blog post. So we go to this generator, and here everything here is explained in the blog post. You can basically leave it as it auto-populates. Policy will usually auto-populate as none. I have explained this in the blog post. Aggregate email. You will still receive some Dmarc emails here, but not as many as if you fill out the forensic email. You will receive floods and floods if you put your email address in this field here. But if you don't want to receive floods of emails, but you do wish to read these reports at your leisure, you can set up a separate email address and just check it when you want. And that way all the emails will go there and they won't go to your usual email address or addresses and bother you. So leave these as yes. So see how simple this generator is? You just do that and then you click Generate Report. And it will generate it below as you can see. So you copy and paste this. And then you pop across to your domain host and find the domain you want, and then click DNS. And then here we click Add New Record. Now I'm doing this in GoDaddy. You could have a different domain host, but all the steps are the same. Add New Record. Choose TXT. Now here we write _Dmarc. Don't forget the __ Dmarc. You just paste your string here in value and then click Save. A little box will come up here saying success. If, however, you see something down here, if you're on GoDaddy or somewhere else saying invalid, that usually means it's something to do with your browser. Just try another browser, and that usually works. And then I have another link where you can check to see if it all worked. So there we go. That's my domain name. So you just type in your URL and then click Check Record, and it says success. I'll show you what happens if I'll just invent a domain name and then click check and it'll tell you if it's not found. Now, I must tell you, when you enter it, a little success message will pop up at your domain section and say, success, this could take up to 48 hours, but as it's usually completely instant. And that's how easy it is once you know how. Okay, bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.